Yeah.
So let's talk about Earnest Money real quick as our final thing.
Yeah.
So Earnest Money is just something that you put up whenever you're gonna write an offer on a property. So the thing I always like to make sure people know is, guess what? That is going to be cashed.
Yes.
Within 3 days of you typically of acceptance of the offer. So the only thing I want to point out with Earnest Money is, unfortunately, over the years, I've had a few circumstances where somebody other than the parties involved in the transaction are writing the check.
Yeah.
Or it's a boyfriend-girlfriend situation or something, and only one of them's on the loan and the other one writes the check. Not that we can't work through that, but you just created some more documentation for you as the buyer. So, you have to have the money, of course, but I mean, assuming that you do, it's just so much cleaner if you as the buyer are the one writing the check. I also had a situation recently where people were just kind of saving up cash.
Yeah.
They brought cash to somewhere and got a money order. Just like,
we can't track that.
We can't document that.
We need to track it.
And we're a full documentation world in the lending side.
Yeah.
So that's a very small tidbit, but just keep that in mind when you're writing an Earnest Money check. So.
But also the nice thing too nowadays with technology, we have this thing called trust funds. Not all brokers are a part of it. So when you start to run into the smaller brokerages on the listing side, it can get a little tricky. We actually might need a paper check, which
not everybody has.
A lot of people don't have anymore.
But you can go to the bank, get a cashier's check.
You can go to the bank, get a cashier's check. But in most cases, we are able to do the trust fund scenario, which is me just sending over a link to you. You just type everything in. There's a secret code. So you know it's legit, payment. Right?
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about how do I fill out a check again?
Yeah, right.
What do I put here?
Who now?
Who do I make this out to?
Cash? Do I make it out to cash?
Right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah. But also another part of Earnest Money is that's a very huge proponent of making your offer competitive.
Yeah.
I would say that on the purchase agreement, that is the first thing that you're going to look at.
Right.
It is line
first line.
5 or 6.
Right. That you have to fill in.
After your name.
Right.
So what that's telling the seller is, hey, we're willing to put this much skin in the game. So if you're just doing the traditional 1%, I mean, in some cases you can get away with that.
Sure.
Let's say you don't have a lot of cash. There's obviously all of the other terms that we've talked about in the past that you can tweak to compensate for that.
Right.
But this is your initial punch to the gut, we're ready, let's do this. We have the financial means, especially when you're working with VA buyers or USDA buyers where it's going to be 0% down.
Sure.
Well, obviously we want to go with 0% down for a VA buyer because, VA benefits.
That's the benefit.
Let's use it.
Right.
But then you can use the Earnest Money part to really demonstrate, yes, we're doing 0% down, but
we still have the financial means.
We got money.
Yeah. We can make a mortgage payment, so we have to have some earnest money.
Yeah. Right. So that is a bulk of my conversation with my buyers, especially. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to give up?
Right.
Obviously, there are some caveats where your Earnest Money does come into risk. It's usually small periods of time where it's at risk, unless you were to just be like, yeah, I'm not gonna perform on this sale.
I'm out.
Yep.
I'm out.
That's going to be a situation where you are likely going to lose your Earnest Money.
Yep.
So again, having a sound mind and decision that we are going to perform on the sale. We do want this house. Here's how badly we want this house.
Right. But I think the good thing to know too is if you lose a job or God forbid you're in an accident or something happens to you that you can't perform.
Yeah.
It is refundable.
Exactly.
So
it's more so just the stubborn, I don't want to.
Right.
Okay, well,
Actually,
there's a consequence. There's
Right.
a consequence for that. So yeah, hopefully you found that useful. Got anything else to add?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Rates are phenomenal. I'll just say that.
Yeah, they're down back below
Don't
3
say that. But
ish.
yeah,
Hovering.
we're not supposed to quote rates, damn. But yes, what he just maybe alluded to.
They're ever changing.
Yes, they're by the
From
day,
day
by
to
the
day.
hour, by the hour. But
From
no, rates
hour
are
to
very-
hour.
They are very good rates. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, historically, just,
Yeah.
I
know.
mean, our parents were paying 17,
Right.
18%.
Yeah, no kidding.
I feel like 18% was the highest I've heard of.
24% is the highest I heard. Yeah.
Oh, ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
I always go
that
back
hurts.
to though, like the prices are also like $60,000.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's like kind of, I don't know, but yeah.
Your mortgage payment traditionally is, I mean, yes, it changes in different, yeah, that's,
We could go on a whole
that's a
nother
story
rant
for
on that.
another day. But if you guys have any questions, please comment below. Feel free to text us, email us with any questions you have. We'd love to do a video on it for you. Any ideas for the podcast as well?
Yeah.
We'd be happy to expand on those for you. So enjoy your week. Bye, guys.